Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Um, Now we have our next presenter here on this stage, Dominik Lauf with Magenta Gaming, but also our first roundtable. So if you want to join the roundtable, look on the right side. Down on the bottom, you find roundtable, coffee, and what is the last part? Oh, yeah. It's called Roundtable Expo and Coffee. Click on it, and you will find the roundtable. But if you're here and listen to Dominik Lauf, my friend from Magenta Gaming, it's a great talk. Just listen and have fun. But also, when you want to join the roundtable, do so. Okay, I think Dominik is ready to go on stage. That's from me, and we see you afterwards.
Hello together. It's a pleasure to be here and telling you something about Magenta Gaming and player or gaming retention, so our findings. My name is Dominik Lauf. I'm the program lead and CPO of Magenta Gaming, of our cloud gaming platform at Deutsche Telekom, and happy to share some thoughts with you, some insights. So looking to DT, we started with the esports team with a sponsorship. Meanwhile, we are also invested in this esports team. Then we go also the next step into mobile gaming with Stream On Gaming. This is an opportunity where customers of DT in the mobile environment can zero rate the gaming traffic for specific games and of course also for Magenta Gaming. And Magenta Gaming is the consequent next step entering the cloud gaming market. So we are out there at the moment on Windows, on Mac OS, on Android TV, also with the Magenta TV stick, as well as Fire OS. So it's more or less device independent. For you as game developers, the opportunities are quite huge because we are thinking very strong regarding API integrations in future. So connecting the dots to our TV products, to our speaker, to mobile and cloud environments, and localization-based topics and to strengthen our network capabilities here. Now coming a little bit more specific to the opportunities of cloud gaming. So on the one hand side, you have, of course, the user where we are lowering the entry barriers for gaming. So always the latest gaming hardware is there and you do not have to download anything. But thinking also from a publisher or from a developer side, there's also huge opportunities because you also not have to care which hardware is at the home of the users. You can assume that it's always the best one, and you can, as we see later on, make use of network capabilities or cloud capabilities. So as we talking also about a gaming abo subscription model, you notice from TV like Netflix, you can attract people with some content, but if this content is played, if it's not a multiplayer or a service game, people will look to more niche content. So it's the opportunity for you here to increase the visibility on our platform and to expand the lifetime of your content, because we see as well that not only the newest content is played very well on our platform, but also some older ones. And you can assume with this that if your game, for example, is more dedicated to core gamers with this lowering of the entry barriers, you can expand also your customer group because it's touching also other users. So we do see at the moment more or less three topics where we have a strong asset. So what I would like to tell you with those quotes here is more or less that, especially with COVID, what we have seen is that a lot more interest is in social interaction on the platform and in cooperative or competitive gaming. So we're coming also to this later on. So we are quite clear that content drives the industry, and a subscription model can increase the hunger of content very well and boost also the visibility from niche or from smaller games and indie titles. So it's increasing the willingness to try it out because you do not have to download anything, and we can also place content quite well to get it attractive for users to start with. So think about also multiplayer environments. So multiplayer, first of all, you all notice this drives retention extremely well. We also see this on our platform. Coming to this a little bit later. But what I would like to say is, or what we learned is, that of course not the biggest, but the smaller ones just care about multiplayer because of costs. So middleware to negate kind of like latency stuff between the players, but also hosting the servers for multiplayer environments is quite expensive. So think about the good old LAN party or the peer-to-peer opportunities. So this is a low-cost scenario, but no one uses it at the moment. But what means a peer-to-peer network on us? So on our server infrastructure, peer-to-peer means connecting all the players. And by the way, also natively cross-play, because you can play here from a smartphone with an TV or with a computer user. So further on, thinking this a little bit longer, there are not only the capability to lower the costs for multiplayer environment, you can also think about increasing the value of the multiplayer environment, because you can assume that everybody has the same hardware, everybody has the same, more or less the same latency depending to the home equipment. But at least from a processing of the game, everything is the same, and you do not necessarily have to process the game twice or 100 times on all devices, but only one time, so that you can really make sure that every player sees exactly the same to the same time, which might be a huge asset in future. Well, and think also about GPU pooling later on. So this could also be a huge opportunity to increase the value of the gameplay. But coming to this a little bit later on. So the infrastructure is still a huge enabler. So as said, there are pooling opportunities, but also the game design or gameplay can profit a lot from the cloud environment. So think also about AI technology, think also about other opportunities, like said before, speaker or TV environments, which can easily be implemented. So we are thinking at least a lot in this direction for the future. But now coming a little bit more specific to the topic where we are here today. So about player or gaming retention. So this is based more or less on findings what we saw from different researchers and from our cloud gaming platform. I would like to share you with this, and I hope it's valuable. So starting with some hard facts about gaming according to the retention and the replay value, because for us replay value is from huge importance, because of course we would like to attract the users as long as we can, and I'm pretty sure you think about the same when you're designing a game. So those hard facts I gathered from the Game Association. So this is more or less public available fact-based KPIs, and also from Statista, and all data are from the last 2 years, so not older. So first of all, what you have to think about is that 60% of the users, of the gamers, see social interaction as a main reason for gaming. So before COVID, it was 40%. Now, since COVID, it's 60%. So please have this in mind. So going a little bit more down specific. So gamers was asked what was their positive experiences with games, and 83% answered, so being a member of a specific community feels well. So having also this in mind, so we are not talking here about the gamer community, we are talking about more specific communities. So I come to this later on, but what we learned here is social interactivity is extremely important, and specific communities are extremely valuable or important. So then we see also that 38% of the gamers like participating in in-game tournaments. So I was really impressed from this figure. So of course I know that tournaments are quite interesting, but I didn't thought that nearly 40% of the gamers do really like to participate in tournaments. So also 38% of new gamers, that's also important to know. We are talking here not about all gamers, but just new gamers. So overall, the gamers, the percentage is a little bit lower, as you can see in the details from Statista here on this presentation. Or you can also self-check those KPIs if you're interested on. But 38% of the new gamers like also to participate in in-game tournaments. Oh, I think that's a copy and paste problem here. Sorry for this. So the next one is 28% of new gamers participating in clubs, teams, specific groups, guilds. You know about all this. So this is underlining how important communities, and not only communities, but also friendships or relationships for players are. Coming a little bit more to the platform value regarding features. So what we said with our platform, social interaction is important. We see this on those KPIs. Therefore, we thought about a lot of features what we adding or add in future to our platform. So friend list is one topic. We are using also pro streamers or influencers to share our content, but also our platform experience to a huge or to a larger audience via Twitch and via YouTube. So this is communities and streaming. We are thinking very strong about those things. And with this, social media is also very, very important, because this is an opportunity to really get or gain awareness about your activities and your news. Maybe I come to this later on. We will see if we have a little bit more time here. So multiplayer, it's of course extremely important. So we started in the early beginning when we started with our platform last year with couch co-op and more or less family multiplayer. But of course, online multiplayer and cross-player are huge opportunities and functionalities. So we implemented them quite this year. And we started challenges and tournaments with, for example, also our esports team, or at least as shown before, that there's quite a huge share of people who want to participate in tournaments. So therefore, we also enable tournaments on our platform. So leaderboards, achievements, I think this is quite well known on your side. But what might be from interest to you is, so we have done also a lot of research here, not only about gaming, but also about psychology. And what is interesting to see is that we find out that roughly 50%, so research is here a little bit indifferent between 40 and 60%. So therefore we said more or less roughly 50% of the gamers say that achievements are really important, or they care about achievements. So that's good to know on the one hand side. Now you can argue, well, the other 50% don't care. And yes, that's really that polarizing. But the psychology of our human being or of our brain says, or at least the scientist says that even if you are not interested in, so subconsciously you feel better if you gain achievements or you can gather achievements, and this will positively influence the users. So that's also very important to know. And what I would like you to, or what I would like to say here is, do care about meaningful and senseful integration of community features, and also about leaderboards or achievements, because it serves your customers with capabilities they want, or with a demand, or at least with underlined wishes or positive emotions. And I think emotions, we are in the entertainment market here, so it's all about emotions at the end. Our API set will grow step by step. So you can also find this in the internet if you're interested in to see how you can participate on this, or you can integrate our APIs in your games. So we tried to collaborate here very strongly with the market and also in the B2B environment, so that we care a lot about the wishes from our partners and try to make the APIs very, very easy to integrate. Challenges driving awareness on the one hand side, and leaderboards and achievements, as we saw, gain sustainable long-term impact. This is our finding. Looking a little bit closer to this, what we have done with our Magenta Gaming challenges. So every month since April, you can win great prizes like handies, like TVs, like sweatshirts, whatsoever, if you are good enough in coming to the top 10 of a specific game. We drive those things with influencers. So what was the impact? This is, I think, for us extremely important, but also I would like to share this with you, and I'm pretty sure also for you at least extremely interesting. So what we see is that the usage of those games who are participating within such a challenge increased up to 2000%. So this is really amazing. So of course we hoped that it's increased the usage, but it's doing it quite well. On the other hand side, there's the long-term impact. So what we also see is those games which participated in a challenge dropped down after the challenge to only 10% of the traffic or of the users we have before the challenge on those games. So we are always looking only to existing users. This is, of course, something else on new users. So which means that a new user which came to the platform and did not participate on this game, there we see usage, but from those ones who are on the platform, the usage falls down nearly to zero. So that's a threat, of course. So which means select wisely your challenges, because you can burn well, more or less the usage of this game with this. We do have integrated leaderboards into our games. So the first game which starts with this leaderboards is from Megagon Industries. It's Lonely Mountain Downhill. The second game we just introduced this is Bombbots Arena from Tiny Roar. And now I would like also to share some impacts of this. So here again, we started a challenge with Lonely Mountain Downhill with the leaderboards, and the effect that this game is maybe more powerful as others is kind of like outcalculated. So we see, because we do with Lonely Mountains 2 times a challenge, in December without leaderboards and now with leaderboards. And what we see is that the usage, or the users, existing users, increased by 3000% with this challenge. So and now this is a great example what the leaderboard does with the long-term impact. So we see that also after the challenge, the leaderboard drives the retention of the game. So even after this challenge, where we see on other games it's fall down to roughly 0 or 10% of the usage, we see also plus of 100% of the users after the challenge. This is a huge success, so we hope for this, but we are extremely happy that we see this now. So the leaderboard effect itself, and this calculating also with the challenge, after the challenge, to try to negate kind of like other activities we are doing here, is estimated by roughly 500%. That's actually the effect we will see. So, and the estimation for the long-term effect more or less is calculated to over 200%. So, saying this, or having said that, what is important here also to drive the storytelling about this. So what you have to know is, with all those figures, what we have done with leaderboards, we share those user experiences and those opportunities strongly about our social media channel. So maybe it's not really fair to kind of like compare those figures, because we are doing more social media marketing on those games where we have the APIs integrated. But well, this is part of the game, you know. So as said in the beginning, try to kind of like use all your strength and assets you have, and social media is, according to communities, a huge vehicle. So maybe saying a little bit something about social media, because this might be also from interest to you. So what we see, that Twitter is extremely great for presenting news to a broad audience, but not to gain kind of like communities. To gain communities, Discord is quite well and drives this community feeling, and you can also exchange more with people. You know this, I'm pretty sure, but this is also something what we learned quite well, and Facebook makes it more attractive to a broader audience in detail, and Instagram to a younger audience. So what is really impressive to see is that 7 million Germans are watching gaming streams live on Twitch. So or not on Twitch, maybe also on YouTube, but watching game streams. So I found this figure quite impressive. And if you look now to the effect on COVID, this is unbelievable from my point of view, because it triples more or less the time and the usage on those things. So what you can say with this is that roughly 25% of all gamers watching streams. You can also say or see that COVID drives stream usage or streaming usage by 3. And now coming a little bit to our things, what we have done here, as said before, so we are tried to make also use of those figures on the example from Lonely Mountains Downhill or our challenges. So we have acquired a few games here. At the moment, Bombot Arena is the challenge. We do also offer team streams, so once a week we are on Twitch, where kind of like members of the Magenta Gaming team streams their gaming experience. So, and what I would like to tell here is influencers can really spend reach. So we started also with our friendly streamer community, which means we would like to have a really strong engagement with our communities, and this was really wonderful. So it was just an idea we tried out, and we get so great feedback and so huge engagement. So there are really, really lovely people who stream about Magenta Gaming, about the games there, and we help them to create followers, to gain, well, reach, pushing them about our channels or on our channels, spending engagements to their streams, and this helps them. It's a success story for them to well, faster grow, and it's a success story to us because we gain also reach with Magenta Gaming. So I think this is also what you know, but I'm pretty sure community is spending a lot of value to games and to the platform and to retention. So the collaboration path, maybe I would also go a little bit into this because as I think the most of you are game developers or working within the gaming industry, so we would like to kind of like collaborate as much as possible with you, and we have also strong capabilities. They are growing, so because we are engaging on social media, we are quite well known as DT, and we can manage to push also niche content. So I hope this spends also some value to you, or at least is some food for thought. Very happy to see you also in real life, and very happy to answer now some of your questions if you have some. Many thanks so far. That's it from me for now. Thank you.